What's going on, everybody? It's your boy TG. So today we are going to be recapping the NHL Frozen Frenzy from Tuesday. I wanted to get this out to you guys on Wednesday, but I had technical issues with my computer. I wanted to get out to you guys this morning. Still had technical issues, but we are still going to get out a video nonetheless. We won't be too long with the recap video because we're going to be talking about all 16 games. So we're going to go just do quick little notes about the game. Won't talk too long because again it's all 16 games and trying to make this less than an hour long. I might put this out on my Hockey Talk with TG podcast, but it will be on the TG Hockey channel on YouTube for all the audio listeners for the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. I might put it out on audio platform on my podcast, but for the people who usually watch the podcast on YouTube, it's going to be out on the TG Hockey channel only because I did the preview video. I did a preview video of Frozen Frenzy on the TG Hockey channel. Why not put the recap video on there as well? So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we'll start with the Penguins and Flyers. Bobby Brink scores a shootout game-winning goal as the Flyers win 3-2 in the shootout against the Penguins Tuesday. He scored a decisive shootout goal. Smooth deke on Penguins goaltender Artur Sievasov. Also had 2 points in regulation. He had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. And the Flyers moved to 5-3-1 the season. They extend their home winning streak to 4 games. They take on the Predators tonight. Travis Konecny scored his 200 career NHL goal in this one. The goal came early in the second period, 2 minutes and 46 seconds in, off a rush shot from the right circle. Samuel Ersson made 24 saves on 26 shots facing the net, stopped all the Penguins shootout attempts, and the Flyers came out with the win. For the Penguins, Sidney Crosby and Justin Brazeau scored for Pittsburgh. Of course, Sidney Crosby has career points 1,701 following his 1,700 career point on, Monday against St. Louis. And he also has his 633rd career goal. Artur Sievasov made 32 saves on 34 shots facing the net. This was a crazy game, especially in overtime, because both of these teams had overtime goals called back against them. Flyers thought they won it before they reviewed it, and they overturned it. And then again, Malkin thought that he won it. But it didn't count as well. So it was just a crazy overtime for both of these two teams. And the Penguins moved to 7-2-2 of the season. Their 6-game point streak snaps, which they were 5-0-1 during the span. Moving on to the next game, Flames and Maple Leafs. So Max Domi scores 2 goals in the Maple Leafs 4-3 win over the Calgary Flames. One of his goals being the game-winning goal with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third period. Great feed from Matthew Knies for Max Domi to score the goal. And heading into Wednesday's game against Columbus, the Leafs were 5-4-1 of the season, but now following that 6-3 loss to the Blue Jackets on Wednesday, the only game on the slate for Wednesday, they are now 5-1 of the season. Matthew Knies scored twice in this game as well. Also had an assist for a 3-point night. And Anthony Stolarz made 26 saves on 29 shots faced the net. For the Flames, Morgan Frost, Joe Farabee, Samuel Honzik scored for Calgary. Morgan Frost gets his second of the season. Joe Farabee gets his first NHL goal in 29 games, dating all the way back to March 8th of 2025. He had a goal against the Montreal Canadiens at the time. Samuel Honzik scored his first career NHL goal, and Dustin Wolf made 33 saves on 37 shots faced the net. Flames are still searching for answers. They did snap their 8-game losing skid to the Rangers on Sunday. They won 5-1, but it's mostly been a struggle for them. They sit near at the bottom of the standings, and they are 2-8-1 of the season. Moving on to the next game. Like I said, it's going to be brief and quick because we are recapping all 16 games from the Frozen Frenzy slate. The Golden Knights hold off the Hurricanes with a 6-3 win on Tuesday. They moved to 6-1-3 of the season. Jack Eichel scored 2 goals late in the third period to help the Golden Knights win that game. Pavel Dorofeev scored twice for Vegas, both goals coming in the first period. Brett Howden and Tomas Hertl also scored for Vegas, Hertl's goal being the empty netter. And Akira Schmid made 21 saves on 24 shots faced the net for the Golden Knights. For the Hurricanes, Andrei Sneshchikov scored for Carolina. That's his first goal of the season in just his 9th game of the season. That goal coming on the power play. Jordan Martinook and Logan Stankoven also scored for Carolina. And Freddie Anderson made 29 saves on 35 shots faced the net. And the Hurricanes have lost 3 of their past 4 games. And they moved to 6-3-0 of the season. Moving on to the next game, Blue Jackets and Sabres. Miles Wood, he scores 2 goals in the Blue Jackets 4-3 overtime win over the Buffalo Sabres on Tuesday. He had the game-tying goal with 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third period, and the game-winning goal with 2 minutes and 7 seconds left in overtime. And the Blue Jackets heading into Wednesday's game against Toronto. They're 5-4-0 of the season. Now with that 6-3 win over the Maple Leafs on Wednesday, they're now 6-4-0 of the season. Igor Chinakhov scored the opening goal unassisted for his second of the season with 6 minutes and 9 seconds into the first period. Zach Werenski scored for the Blue Jackets, that goal coming on the power play in the second period for his second goal of the season. Jet Grease made 35 saves on 38 shots faced in net. And for the Sabres, Josh Stone and Ryan McLeod scored for the Sabres. Josh Dunn got his first NHL goal for the Sabres, 26 years of age. Alex Tuck had 2 assists for a 2-point night, and Alex Lyon made 35 saves on 39 shots faced in net. The Sabres have lost 2 in a row. They won 4 of their last 5 games prior, and they moved to 4-4-2 of the season. Not sure if they're the same Sabres that we've been seeing for over a decade. They still had the longest year playoff drought. I think their last playoff appearance was in 2011. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, they're still hoping to get into the playoffs. I'm not sure what is wrong with Buffalo, but we won't go too much into depth about that. We still got to be moving with these game recaps. Anaheim Ducks, they hold off the Florida Panthers, defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions with a 3-2 win in the shootout. Ducks moved to 5-3-1 of the season. They blew a 2-goal lead in the third period, but they recovered for the shootout win, and they end their 5-game road trip 3-1-1. Leo Carlson had a goal and assist for a 2-point night, his 4th goal of the season. Mason McTavish, he had the shootout game-winning goal for Anaheim in this one, and Lucas Dostal made 31 saves on 33 shots faced in net. He stopped 2 or 3 attempts in the shootout for the Ducks to come out with the shootout win. For the Panthers, Anton Lundell and Sam Reinhart scored for Florida. Of course, Sam Reinhart had the game-tying goal for Florida with 3 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the third period. And Daniel Tarasov made 15 saves on 17 shots faced in net. And the Panthers, after this loss, they are now 5-1 of the season, so still at 500. Moving on to Beantown. Boston Bruins, New York Islanders. The Bruins take down the New York Islanders 5-2 in Beantown on Tuesday. They scored 5 unanswered goals to win 5-2, and they moved to 5-7-0 of the season. David Pastrnak had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. Elias Lindholm, Michael Eyssimont, Morgan Geekie, Fraser Minton also scored for Boston. Of course, Elias Lindholm and Morgan Geekie's goals coming on the power play. Elias Lindholm, Michael Eyssimont also had an assist for a 2-point night. Charlie McAvoy had 2 assists in the game, and Jonas Korpisalo made 33 saves on 35 shots faced in net. Bruins special team stood out on this one. It was key to the win. Went 2 for 4 on the power play and a perfect 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. For the Islanders, Bo Horvat and Kyle Palmieri scored for the Islanders. Both goals coming in the first period, and Ilya Sorokin made 17 saves on 21 shots faced in net. Islanders have lost 2 straight games after winning their previous 4 to start off their 4-game road trip 0-1-1 during the span, and they moved to 4-4-1 of the season. Going from Beantown to Smashville, the Tampa Bay Lightning. In the Stammer Bowl, the Tampa Bay Lightning scored 5 goals in their 5-2 win over the Nashville Predators on Tuesday. Steven Stamkos has yet to score a goal against the Tampa Bay Lightning, dating all the way back to last season where he signed with the Predators last season. So he's still yet to score a goal against Tampa. But the Lightning with the win, they moved to 4-4-2 of the season. James Gergensen led the way. The former Buffalo Sabre had 2 goals in the win. His first goal came at 10 minutes and 31 seconds into the first period. He added his second goal late in the third period with 28 seconds remaining. First game back from a upper body injury for James Gergensen. Brandon Hagel, Nikita Kucherov, and Charlie Edouard Deostes, hopefully I pronounced that last name right, also scored for Tampa in this win. Brandon Hagel, Nikita Kucherov had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. Charlie Edouard Deostes scored his first career NHL goal in his third career game. Andre Vasilevsky made 18 saves on 20 shots faced in net. For the Predators, Luke Evangelista had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. For Nashville, Philip Forsberg had scored late for the Predators with 2 minutes and 6 seconds remaining. Extra attack out on the ice, but the Predators couldn't get it done. UC Sauls made 25 saves on 32 shots faced in net. Preds are 2-5-1 in their past 8 games, and they're 4-5-2 of the season. Like I said, they play Philly tonight to kick off their, I believe this will kick off their road trip for Nashville. Not sure how many games will they play on their road trip. But yeah, they play in Philly tonight. Moving on from Smashville to the state of hockey in St. Paul. Jets and Wild. Kyle Connor scores the overtime game-winning goal as the Jets win 4-3 against the Minnesota Wild. Scored 46 seconds into overtime for his 5th goal of the season. And Winnipeg moves to 7-3-0 of the season. Fun fact, Jets are now 9-0 against the Minnesota Wild in their past 9 games against each other. Gabriel Velarde, Vladislav Nemestikov, and Nino Niederreiter scored the other goals for the Jets. Neil Ponick and Logan Stanley had 2 assists each in this one. Connor Hellebuck made 32 saves on 35 shots faced in net. And for the Minnesota Wild, Brock Faber, the hometown kid, he's from Minnesota, played his college hockey at University of Minnesota. He had a goal and assist for a 2-point night, his first goal of the season. Kirill Kaprizov scored his 6th goal of the season. Marcus Johansson had a power play goal in this game, and Philip Gustafson made 17 saves on 21 shots faced in net. And the Minnesota Wild have lost 4 straight games, 0-2-2 during the span, and lost 7 in their past 8, 1-4-3 during the span, and they moved to 3-5-3 of the season. Not sure if John Hines is going to be in the hot seat for the Minnesota Wild. I didn't expect the Wild to be struggling like this. I didn't expect them to be this bad. But, hey, we'll see what happens in their next game. But, yeah, it's just been a struggle for the Minnesota Wild. John Hines could be one of the coaches that will be fired from the NHL early into the season. But we'll just have to see how everything will go. Moving on to the Red Wings and the Blues. The Detroit Red Wings, they cruise past the St. Louis Blues with a 5-2 win on Tuesday. Detroit moves to 7-3-0 of the season. Dylan Larkin led the way for the Red Wings. He had 2 goals and assists for a 3-point night, marking his 9th multi-point effort. Now has 9 points in Detroit's first 10 games of the season. Alistair Brink has scored for his 2nd straight game, his first goal coming on the power play. Ben Sherratt and Elmar Soderblom picked up their first goal of the season. Alistair Brinker also added an assist on Dylan Larkin's first goal for a 2-point night. Forgot to mention that. John Gibson made 20 saves on 22 shots faced in net. And for the St. Louis Blues, Braden Shen and Jordan Kyrou scored for St. Louis. Jordan Binnington made 15 saves on 19 shots faced in net. Blues lose their 5th straight game, 0-4-1 during the span. Moved to 3-6-1 of the season. Moving on from that game to the Capitals and Stars game, Jake Ottinger, He makes 24 saves, and the Stars 1-0 shutout win over the Washington Capitals on Tuesday. Dallas moves to 6-3-1 of the season and won their third straight game. Fun fact, Jake Oettinger is now 6-0-0 in his career against the Washington Capitals. Posted a .958 save percentage in this one. Tyler Seguin had the long goal for Dallas. That goal came on a cross-crease pass attempt for Jason Robson, but it deflected off of Washington defenseman Martin Ferravari's stick and passed Logan Thompson and into the net. And speaking of Logan Thompson, he made 18 saves on 19 shots faced the net. Alex Ovechkin, the great 8, still at 899 career goals. Hoping that he scores goal number 900 soon. I would love to see. I think the Capitals play against the Islanders tomorrow at home. So maybe he gets goal number 900 in that one. He broke the all-time goal scoring record against the Islanders last season. Maybe he gets 900 in the Capitals game against the Islanders on Friday. And the Capitals move to 6-4-0 of the season following the loss. But moving on to the Star State, to the Windy City. Connor Bedard, not just his first career hat trick in the Blackhawks 7-3 win over the Ottawa Senators on Tuesday. They move to 5-3-2 the season. They take on the Winnipeg Jets tonight, so Jonathan Tage up against his former team. Blackhawks are 5-1-1 in their past 7 games. Connor Bedard also had an assist for a 4-point night. And fun fact, Connor Bedard became the 7th Blackhawks player to reach 50 career goals before turning 21. Of course, Patrick Kane scored 53 career goals with the Blackhawks before turning age 21. Connor Bedard is creeping up on him with 50 career goals for the Blackhawks in his career. Blackhawks had a 4-0 lead in the second period. They had 3 goals in the first period from Louis Crevier, Colton Dock, and Connor Bedard. And another goal from Connor Bedard in the second period. Great goals. Both of them being great goals right there in the first two frames. But the Senators had a strong second period. They tried to battle back in this one. They got goals from Jake Sanderson, Michael Matteo, and Tim Stuso. But the Blackhawks said, not on our watch. They ran away with it in the third period. They got goals from Connor Bedard to complete the hat trick. A shorthanded empty net goal from Frank Nazar and Ryan Donato. And Spencer Knight made 21 saves in the win for the Blackhawks. Linus Ullmark made 19 saves for the Senators. And the Senators moved to 5-5-1 of the season following the loss. Moving on from the Windy City to the Mile High City, Victor Olofsson. He gets the career high 5 points in the Avalanche 8-4 win over the Devils on Tuesday. He scored his first career hat trick and notched 2 assists for a 5-point night. And Colorado moves to 6-1-4 of the season. They end their 4-game losing skid. These two teams played against each other on Sunday, which the Devils won in overtime. Avalanche responds back with a 8-4 win against the Devils on Tuesday. Victor Olofsson entered this game with only 5 assists all season. And this was his first multi-goal game as an Avalanche. Avalanche had dominated early. They jumped out to a big lead early, building a 5-0 advantage in the mid-second period. Martin Nature scored on the power play. Zakhar Barkov, I don't know how you pronounce that last name, but he scored his first career NHL goal. And then by 8 minutes and 39 seconds of the second period, Colorado led 5-0 after goals from Parker Kelly, who also had an assist for a 2-point night. Nathan McKinnon and a few other Avalanche players. Nathan McKinnon had 2 goals in this game. He also had an assist for a 3-point night. Cale Makar, one of my favorite defensemen to watch in the league, had 4 assists in this one. Scott Wedgwood made 26 saves on 30 shots faced the net. And for the Devils, Jack Hughes had a goal and assist for a 2-point night. Stefan Nason, Dougie Hamilton, and Dawson Mercer also scored for the Devils in this one. And Jacob Markstrom made 34 saves on 42 shots faced the net. This is his first game back since October 13th. He was out due to a lower body injury. And it's good that the Devils have Jacob Markstrom back despite the loss. But their 8-game winning streak comes to an end. And they move to 8-2-0 of the season. Moving on from the Devils and Avalanche game to the Mammoth and Oilers game, Connor McDavid, he scores twice in the Oilers 6-3 win over the Mammoth on Tuesday. One of those goals being an empty netter in the Oilers and the Mammoth's 7-game winning streak, and they moved to 5-4-2 of the season. They scored 5 goals in the second period to win the game, and then Connor McDavid, I think he had an empty netter. I literally just said it a few seconds ago. But Connor McDavid had an empty netter to seal the deal in the third period. But it was the Oilers' second period surge that powered them to this 6-3 win over the Utah Mammoth. They got goals from Matthias Ekholm, Ty Emerson, Isaac Howard, the Iceman, Leon Draisaitl, and Connor McDavid. And Leon Draisaitl extends his point streak to 6 games. He had a goal and assist in this one for a 2-point night. He has 9 points during the 6-game point streak, 5 goals, 4 assists for 9 points during the 6-game point streak for Leon Draisaitl. Evan Bouchard had 3 assists in this one, while Stuart Skinner made 20 saves on 23 shots faced in net. And for the Mammoth, Logan Cooley, who signed an 8-year extension. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. So go subscribe to the Hockey Talk with TG podcast YouTube channel if you have not already. And make sure that you follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. We'll talk about the extension on tomorrow's episode, the Hockey Talk with TG podcast. But yeah, Logan Cooley, JJ Peterka, and Barrett Hayton also scored for Utah in this one. Carl Vejmelka made 19 saves on 25 shots faced the net. And the Mammoth's winning streak comes to an end. They move to 8-3-0 of the season. Moving on to the Rangers and Canucks game, Jonathan Quick. He makes 23 saves in the Rangers' 2-0 shutout win over the Canucks. 64 career shutouts for Jonathan Quick. He ties Henrik Lundqvist for 17th in league history. And the Rangers moved to 4-5-2 of the season. They snapped their 3-game losing skid. Mika Zibanejad and Sam Carrick scored for the Rangers in this one. Of course, Sam Carrick's goal being an empty netter. Adam Fox had 2 assists in this game for a 2-point night. Special teams stood out for the New York Rangers, more particularly on a penalty kill, as they went 3 for 3 on a penalty kill in this one, improving their road penalty kill mark to 16 for 18, which is at about 89%, which ranks 5th in the league. So not bad for the New York Rangers. They've actually been dominant on the road than at home. They improved to 4-1-1 on the road this season. They also extend their point streak in Vancouver to 5 straight games. Last 5 trips that they made to Vancouver, they earned points in that one. They extend their point streak to 5 games. JT Miller had his first game back in Vancouver. He was honored with a video tribute and a standing ovation. He was also booed for whatever reason for touching the puck, so I thought that was kind of funny. But great standing ovation nonetheless, and video tribute for JT Miller. The part that, like I said, I thought was funny was he was booed every time he touched the puck. Thatcher Demko made 23 saves on 24 shots faced in net. Canucks have a lot of players that are out, more particularly in Quinn Hughes, out with a lower body injury for a second straight game. Vancouver moves to 5-6-0 the season following their loss. But moving on from Vancouver to Seattle, they're not too far apart from each other. By the way, I think it's like a 3-4 hour drive from Seattle to Vancouver. Correct me if I'm wrong. They're really close to each other. If you look on the map, they're like really close to each other north of the border. So it's like a 3-4 hour drive. I want to say 3 to 4 hours, if not 5, from Seattle to Vancouver. So it's not that long of a drive, though. Just only 3-4 hours. It shouldn't be too bad if you're trying to go from Seattle to Vancouver, or maybe Vancouver to Seattle. So I don't think it's that. So it shouldn't be that bad of a drive. But yeah, moving on to the Canadiens and Krakens game. Cole Caulfield, he scores 2 goals. Excuse me, in the Canadiens' 4-3 overtime win over the Kraken on Tuesday. He also had an assist for a 3-point night. One of Cole Caulfield's goals was the overtime game-winning goal. Scored 44 seconds into overtime. 11th career overtime goal for Cole Caulfield, and he now has 2 overtime goals against the Kraken this season. Because you think back to the Kraken and Canadiens game at the Bell Center earlier this season, electric one. Cole Caulfield tied the game up late in the third period. He also had the overtime game-winning goal in that one, and Bell Center absolutely buzzing. P.S. If you are a casual hockey fan or someone who's new to hockey, one of the hockey arenas I would recommend going to for a hockey game is the Bell Center. That arena is absolutely electrifying and buzzing. One of the top 5, top 10 best arenas in hockey. But for Montreal, they moved to 8-3-0 this season. They wrap up their 4-game road trip in which they were 3-1-0 during the span. Uri Slafkovsky, Alex Newhook scored for Montreal. Both goals coming on the power play. Nick Suzuki extends his point streak to 10 games. He had 3 assists in this one. 16 points during a 10-game point streak. 2 goals, 14 assists for 16 points during a 10-game point streak. Longest active point streak in the NHL at this time. And Jakob Dobes made 18 saves on 21 shots facing net. Improves to 6-0 this season. Has yet to lose the game. And the Kraken, they tried to put up a comeback in this one. They were down 3-0 to the Habs in this one. They got goals from Brandon Montour, who scored twice, and Shane Wright, who the Canadians passed up on in the 2022 NHL draft for the first overall pick. They went with Uri Slafkovsky instead of Shane Wright, but Shane Wright made them pay. Not in this game, obviously, but I think in one of the games where he's played against Montreal in his career, I think the Kraken had a win over Montreal. But it's certainly not in this game, though. Joey Decoy, he made 17 saves on 21 shots faced the net. And following the loss, the Kraken moved to 5-2-3 of the season. Now we're off to the final game of the Frozen Frenzy. Like I said, we moved through this quick in this one since we were recapping all 16 games. The LA Kings, they hold off the San Jose Sharks with the 4-3 win. They improved to 5-3-3 of the season. They won 2 in a row, and they finished their 5-game road trip 4-0-1. They extended their point streak to 5 games, in which they were 4-0-2 during the span. Early surge by the LA Kings in this one. They jumped out to a 3-0 lead with goals from Corey Perry. I still can't believe he's on the LA Kings, and neither can Anaheim Ducks fans. I don't know if he's going to get booed if the Kings play in Anaheim against the Ducks because of the California rivalry. So, yeah, it's still weird to me that Corey Perry's on the LA Kings. Jeff Malott had a goal for LA in this one, and Drew Doughty also scored for the Kings. And fun fact, Drew Doughty's goal tied him with Rob Blake for the most franchise goals by a defenseman with 161 in Kings history. But the Sharks, like the Kraken, tried to put up a comeback against the LA Kings in this one, against their California rivals. So they were down 3-0. They tied the game up at 3 in the third period with goals from Will Smith, the Fresh Prince, Philip Kurashev, former Chicago Blackhawk, and Alexander Wenberg. But then Brant Clark said, He scored the game-winning goal with 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third period. Scored from the right circle to put LA ahead. He also had assists for a 2-point night. Darcy Kemper made 37 saves on 40 shots faced the net. Yaroslav Askarov made 10 saves on 14 shots faced the net. And the Sharks have yet to win at home. They're 0-3-2 at home this season. And they're 2-6-2 of the season overall. Both of those 2 wins coming on the road at Madison Square Garden and in St. Paul against the Rangers and the Wild. They need to win at home. Pretty sure Sharks fans will love it, seeing Macklin celebrating Will Smith score and then win at home. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Like I said, move too quick in this one. I might put this out on the Hockey Talk with TG podcast as well, so I probably should say that's going to do it for this video/episode. But yeah, we moved too quick in this one because we recapped all 16 games, so not a fully in-depth analysis as I usually do for my videos and for my podcast. Had to move too quick in this one, so yeah, sorry about that. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe on the TG Hockey channel for more hockey content. Make sure that you follow the Hockey Talk with TG podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. We're with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11:30 a.m. to noon Central Time. And if you're living up in Eastern Time, we're with you 12:30 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that follow button on the Hockey Talk with TG podcast, and make sure that you subscribe to the TG Hockey channel for more hockey content. But anyways, stay tuned for tomorrow's episode of Hockey Talk TG Podcast. We'll do some NHL game recaps. We'll talk about Logan Cooley's extension. All that other good stuff on the Hockey Talk TG Podcast tomorrow. So head on over to that YouTube channel and subscribe there. Make sure that you follow our audio platforms. All those links will be in the description below this video. If you are watching on YouTube on the TG Hockey channel, like I said, I might also put this out on my podcast as well. And hope you guys have a great day. And I will see you guys next time.